èbó tó dì wá lọ́wọ́ mú tó ní ká mọ̀ yóò kọ yẹn padà sékòó ni. ṣùgbọ́n kì í ṣe Lagos nìkan. ìlú kan wà tó ń jẹ́ Òyìnbó. òyìnbó débẹ̀ ó yí lẹ́nu wọn. wọ́n yẹ sọ lórúkọ ìkan lára wọn nìyẹn. wọ́n ní èbúté Harcourt, Port Harcourt. èbó òun láti ń pèlú Ondo ní. nígbà tí èbó lọ ta ló dì wá lọ́wọ́ mú tó ní àmọ́ yóò kàn padà. ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè tí èbó sọ lórúkọ tó ti yóò kọ́ padà. wọ́n sọ̀lú kan ní Upper Volta ìgbà tí èbó lọ àwọn aráàlú yí orúkọ wọn padà sí Burkina Faso. wọ́n sọ̀lú kan ní Dahomey nígbà tí èbó lọ àwọn aráàlú dìde wọ́n sì yóò kọ yẹn padà sí Benin Republic. ṣebí èbó tiẹ̀ pín ìlú kan sọ́nà méjì ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀.
Oh yeah, yes I want to know.
Tanganyika àti Zanzibar. wọ́n sì wora wọn wọ́n rí pé dé àwọn jọra pé èbó ló pín wọn níyà. ìjọba tó sọ̀bẹ̀ di Tanzania. kò sẹ́ni tó mú wọn sí i.
I want to know.
ẹ jẹ́ ń padà sórílẹ̀-èdè wa.
Many years after,
Ìwẹ́rẹ́
we still find it.
làwọn tó nílùú pẹ̀lú wọn làwọn ìṣẹ̀kírì pẹ̀lú wọn.
Long shall we be patient?
èbó ò lè pè dáadáa ó sọ̀bẹ̀ di Warri.
Let's save Nigeria.
kábíyèsí ìlú yẹn lónìí tó bá béèrè pé kí lórúkọ rẹ̀ yóò ní Olú of Warri.
Tell me.
èbó délùú Benin bí ìní ìlédè Yorùbá.
Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know
ṣèbí ìgbà tí èbó lọ tán
we are part of the government.
èbó débẹ̀ èbó sọ̀bẹ̀ ní di Benin.
Nigeria. So Nigeria,
àwọn aráàlú ọ̀hún sì gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
which way? Which way?
ọba là ń jẹ́ ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Oh yeah,
ìjòyè ní ṣíìfù.
want to know. In a fish,
ṣùgbọ́n àwọn òfin wa àwọn òfin ìjọba wa chieftaincy law láti ń pè é. a ò ní kingship law.
everywhere, inflation is soaring high. Let's save Nigeria. So Nigeria.
à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn àṣeyọrí tá a ti ṣe àtàwọn ìjákulẹ̀ tá a ti ní. ká má bàa máa dẹ́bi ìfàsẹ́yìn wa ru èbó nìkan. wọ́n ti lọ tipẹ́. ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan pẹ́pẹ̀pẹ́ tá a lè yí padà lákọ̀ tá a yí padà.
We made mistakes during the oil boom, not knowing that was our doom. Some people now have everything,
fún àpẹẹrẹ
while many have nothing.
orílẹ̀-èdè South Africa
Nigeria. So
ló fi hàn wá wípé ìlú lè ní ju olú ìlú kan lọ. olú ìlú mẹ́ta lórílẹ̀-èdè South Africa ní ìlú òsìsí.
which way to go?
àwọn aṣòfin ń lò kan àwọn aṣèjọba ń lò kan. àwọn ẹgbẹ́ kẹta náà ń lò míì.
Green
láyé tá a wà á ti ẹ̀rọ orílẹ̀-èdè tó lóun ò ní kápítà.
rabbit, a chance to grow. Let's join
ìlú wọn ò sì dàrú.
the land so we can have enough food to show.
ọdún 1960 òun la gbòmìnira.
Nigeria.
wọ́n 1957 òun la ti gba partial independence. tí igun kọ̀ọ̀kan ti ń ṣèjọba tiẹ̀. nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ní Western Region 1957 láti attain self-governance.
Sure.
ní 1957 yẹn igun kọ̀ọ̀kan East Region ló láǹfààní láti lẹ́ńbàsì sáwọn ìlú òkèèrè.
Our ambition to be millionaires.
ta ló tú ká ta ló dàrú.
The country down. We all want
nígbà tí a gba òmìnira òfin tá a ṣe ni wípé
the end. Oh,
parliamentary system la máa lò.
so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which
agbára yóò sì wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn region kọ̀ọ̀kan. Àwa náà la dàrú.
Oh yeah. Yes, we want.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Àkànṣe ètò fún òmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
It's the beginning of a million miles.
Òun lẹ̀ ń gbọ́ láti iléeṣẹ́ Hyper 102.7 FM.
So as to make the country smile, let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't.
Àfèdè Yorùbá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. Àmọ́ ṣèbó náà sáàrin rẹ̀ yóò padà lè bó lọ. Èbó tọwọ́ bọ̀ á ṣèbó. Ẹ wo bí adé dúró. Nígbà tá a gbòmìnira. Yunifásitì kan àbọ̀. Ẹ̀sẹ̀ ẹ̀já pèsè ẹyọ kan la ní. Ṣùgbọ́n lónìí yunifásitì wa ti fẹ́ẹ̀ tó gba. Àdúró sójú kan. Ìlú tó níná lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ńgbà náà ìwọ̀nba ni. Iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ẹyọ kan la ní. Pápá ìṣeré èyí stadium Standard Stadium ẹyọ kan la ní. A ti tẹ̀ wájú. Ṣùgbọ́n ìjà tẹ̀ wájú tó. Àràrá wa lọ́jọ́ lórí ìkòkànga náà ni. Ọjọ́ pẹ́ tádìyẹ wa náà ti dáyé orí ẹ̀ ní òkàn tóbi. Gbogbo ẹ̀ látànáwò lónìí láàfọ̀ yẹ́bẹ́yẹ́bẹ́. Orílẹ̀-èdè wa jagun 30 oṣù. 30 months of civil war. Àwọn ẹ̀mí tó sì tó bíi mílíọ̀nù kan ló sọnù. Àwọn tí ọ̀tá pa òótọ́ àwọn tẹ̀bi pakú. Ṣùgbọ́n a tún ti tẹ̀ ẹ́ wájú, a ti tẹ̀ ẹ́ wájú, a ti tẹ̀ ẹ́ wájú. Ọ̀nà mẹ́ta la pín orílẹ̀-èdè yìí sí nígbà náà. Ṣùgbọ́n a ti pín báyìí sí ọ̀nà 36. 36 states. A sì ń wá sí i náà. Èmi nìkan kọ́ ni mo wà lórí ètò lónìí. Lámì ìtọ́ ilé-iṣẹ́ wa. In-house analyst. Àwọn náà wà lórí ètò yìí pẹ̀lú mi. Gbogbo wa tá a wà lẹ́ka ìròyìn àtọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ nílé iṣẹ́ ìlà wà nílé agbára láàárọ̀ yìí. Lámì ìtọ́ ilé-iṣẹ́ wa ọ̀gbẹ́ni Akin Adébáyọ̀ ń bẹ nílé iṣẹ́, ó ń bẹ náà yàrá agbára ẹ̀ gbóhùn wọn láìpẹ́. Ọ̀kan lára àwọn akàròyìn wa lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Florence Barima ó wà níbí náà pẹ̀lú mi. Ìwé ọwọ́ rẹ̀ dàbí ìwé ìpẹ̀jọ́ ni. Ó pọ̀ ó kí. Rìsáàsì pọ̀ jù. Ọlọ́run mi ò. Akàròyìn lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Àti Yorùbá. Àtàfà wa ń lè sẹ́yìn. Abdulrasaq Aláwáyé ó ń bẹ ń bí pẹ̀lú mi. Akàròyìn eré orí pápá lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Àtàwọn ìròyìn míì pẹ̀lú. Ìní Olúwa Adékọ̀yà ó ń bẹ́nu yàrá agbára yìí. Adarí àwọn olóòtú ìròyìn nílé iṣẹ́ yìí.
I'm like an ever-rolling stream.
Olúwakẹ́mi Ajíbọ́lá ó ń bẹ ń bí pẹ̀lú wa.
Sokatashi ara
náà ni Ṣẹ́gun ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ṣẹ́gun tó di ìtàkùn ayélujára wa mú ó ń bẹ ń bí pẹ̀lú mi ẹ lè láǹfààní láti rójú gbogbo wa lórí ìtàkùn ayélujára iléeṣẹ́ yìí Hyper 1027 FM lórí Facebook lórí Instagram lórí TikTok lórí X lọ́jọ́ mo wí fún yín wípé ìkànnì yìí ìkànnì agbára àtàṣẹ ni ẹnu kọ́ tètè bọ̀ òkú kọ́ ṣùgbọ́n a máa mú gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. ẹ jẹ́ ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀gbẹ́ni Akin Adébáyọ̀ ẹ kí àwọn ará ilé.
ẹ káàárọ̀ ẹ̀yin aráalé ẹ̀rẹ̀ kú ìtẹ̀sí sí frequency ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gan-an.
ẹ̀yin sábà pé eléèbó làwọn èèbó owó pọ̀ ju tiwa lọ àwa ní àfi taratara gbé èèbó ọwọ́ àwọn Florence náà ti máa ń yá wa nígbà téèyàn yáwó lórí ìtàkùn àwọn ìtàkùn tí máa ń yá àyàn lówó yẹn pé ẹ̀yà mi súkè láti máa ń yá owó díẹ̀díẹ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí à ń wo Nigeria 65 the wins and the losses ẹ tiẹ̀ já mọ bí ibi méjì tá a ti ṣe dáadáa àti bí ibi méjì tẹ̀ rò pé a ti ṣe dáadáa ẹ lè má ṣe ìbò wọnú ara ẹ àwọn tí ń bẹ nílé náà wọ́n gbé ìbò akànnì ká sọ tiwantiwa ká fi tiwantiwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ibi pẹlẹbẹ òun la ti ń mọ́ ọ̀lẹ̀ jẹ ó dẹ̀ níjẹ́ bì kan tá a ti ṣe dáadáa àti ibì kan tá a ti ṣe dáadáa nínú ìrìn àjò wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè.
ẹ ṣe gan-an olóòtú ẹ ti parí ọ̀rọ̀ níbi tẹ́tí ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ ìwé ara wọn nígbà tí ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìtàn Nàìjíríà ẹ ti sọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó kò ní dákíyàn tó ẹ máa go back táwọn eré àdúgbò ṣùgbọ́n ìyá kọ̀ wo gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ béèrè àwọn tí a ti ṣe dáadáa àtàwọn tí a ti ṣe dáadáa fún àpẹẹrẹ tó bá ní ká wo ibi tí a ti ṣe dáadáa àti tó bá wo ara slogan Nàìjíríà wà ní unity in diversity tá bá gbé ìtumọ̀ unity in diversity tá bá gbé yẹ̀wò dáadáa a máa rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ tó dàbẹ̀ ni pé ó fẹ́ takò ara wọn ni unity diversity but unity in diversity tí ó jẹ́ ara àwọn slogan wa ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé ó ti ran orílẹ̀-èdè yìí lọ́wọ́ gan pẹ̀lú pé a jẹ́ ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà pẹ̀lú pé a jẹ́ oríṣiríṣi èdè ló wà nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú pé a ní oríṣiríṣi ẹ̀sìn ṣùgbọ́n nínú ìyàtọ̀ tó wà ń bẹ̀ at least a sì lè dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè kan tí ń bá ní parọ́ tọ́ra mi jẹ ó jẹ́ nǹkan kan gbòógì jẹ́ pé a ṣe dáadáa pé ó kọ́ tàbí tọ̀tọ̀ ti ìyàwó ni nǹkan tá a mọ̀ ní láyé ìsìn ara àwọn fẹ́ kàn ṣègbéyàwó tí ó pọ̀ bí kan tó ní kálukú ti bá tiẹ̀ lọ tábà ń ṣe pé a ti fẹ́ra wa láti 1914 gẹ́gẹ́ bí amalgamation ti lọ lùgádì tó ṣe ń gbà yẹ adẹ̀sùn àti tíbíìsì mo rò pé nǹkan tó jẹ́ kò sẹ́ńtà fẹ́ra wọn náà fún láti máa síbi tá a wà ẹ̀wù ọdún tó wà ń bẹ̀ so kì í ṣe nǹkan kékeré ó jẹ́ nǹkan kan gbòógì tó jẹ́ ibi tí a ti ṣe dáadáa pé nínú differences wa still a ṣì wà together èdè wa ṣì ń ṣe ọ̀kan tó yẹ kó ṣe ọ̀kan tán at least a tẹ̀sí gbìyànjú so ìyẹn ó jẹ́ area ibi kan. ẹlẹ́kejì ẹ̀wẹ̀ ni wípé àwọn tí wọ́n fún wa ní àwọn tó kọ́kọ́ wa ní kíkà mọ́ra tó kó wa lẹ́rú tó dẹ̀ yàtọ̀ dẹ̀ tó fún wa ní òmìnira gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ síwájú lẹ́ẹ̀kan nǹkan tó fi ilẹ̀ kò tó nǹkan compared to nǹkan tí a ní sìn oye university ta ní tẹ́lẹ̀ ó ti lé sí oye bóyá oye stadium ta ní ó ti lé sí oye àmọ́ nǹkan tẹ́ pé pọ́kọ̀ fún wa ṣáà ní ẹ̀mọ̀ nílé pé bóyá ó ti nú wọn wá náà wákọ̀dà tí wọn ò ṣe nǹkan kan ní pẹ̀lú nǹkan èrò ọ̀rọ̀ wa tó ń kó lọ lọ́sọ̀ àwọn kéékèèké wọ̀nyí so àwọn náà dẹ̀ ní kẹ̀ ibi tí wọ́n fi wá lẹ̀sìn ibẹ̀ kọ́ ni a wà. ẹlẹ́kẹta tó bá ní kébì náà tún wù wọ́n á wò ní èrè àpé tẹ́ bá rántí ìgbà kan ìgbàgbà bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà á bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ológun ó dìgbà kan àwọn ológun gbàjọba ṣùgbọ́n a lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti padà wá again sí democratic rule tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wò dẹ̀ níkẹ̀ ó ti ṣe díẹ̀ láti 1999 sí ìta wáyé tó yẹ ká ti transit from one civilian government to the other ó tún jẹ́ nǹkan tó yẹ pé ó jẹ́ nǹkan gbòógì tí a tún ti tàbí pé bí a ti ṣe dáadáa méjì lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ mo ti dárúkọ mẹ́ta báyìí ti sọ jẹ́ kí n mọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn.
ẹ ṣeun ẹ jẹ́ tí a bá padà dé a wàá tẹ̀ wájú nínú àwọn ìfọ̀rọ̀jomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ a máa fi là á máa pe àwọn èèyàn wa a tún máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ a máa fi là á bá a bá ṣe ń mú un lọ.
I believe in Nigeria, my country. Oh Lord, I believe in Nigeria, my country. Yeah, I know one day Nigeria go better because very soon Nigeria go better. Yeah, the story go change. Illumini, ìlú Nàìjíríà o, my country o, kí gbogbo wa jùmọ̀ gbé, ká gbé lárugẹ. I believe in Nàìjíríà o, gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjà, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé, ìlú gbogbo wa, kọ́mọdé gbé ká gbàgbé. Gẹ́gẹ́ ti gẹ́gẹ́, èmi gangan tẹ̀lé mi, tì mí ọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀ ya, mo máa ń ké tèmi, Amẹ́ríkà bá máa sọ, God bless America o, I believe in America o, British kó bá máa wí, God bless Britain, United Kingdom, èmi gangan tẹ̀lé mi, tì mí ọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀ ya, àmọ́ oṣù kọ̀ ya, ní mẹ́sì lé, mo dẹ̀ ń ké tèmi, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo ń pariwo, I believe in Nigeria o, God bless Nigeria o, ìlú mi ni, God bless Nigeria o, I believe in Nigeria o.
iléeṣẹ́ iPower 102.7 FM ó ń lẹ́sìn ń gbọ́ lémùrè ilé níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ọ̀wọ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí láago 7 ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ó bá àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí sọ̀rọ̀ láìpẹ́ afẹ́kẹ́ gbọ́ belenja nínú ohun tí wọ́n sọ afẹ́kẹ́ gbọ́ díẹ̀ níbẹ̀.
Anthony Enahoro, Dadoke Akintola, Michael Okpara, Aminu Kano, Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, and other nationalists believe it was Nigeria's manifest destiny to lead
Nigeria, a beautiful country, a beautiful country.
lára àwọn orúkọ àwọn ọlọ́lá àti àwọn aláṣẹ tí ó jẹ́ wípé Ọlọ́run lò láti lè gbé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí sókè ó ní ẹgbọ́ tí ààrẹ ń kà lónìí yìí tí ó sì ń kan sára sí wọn fún iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí wọ́n ṣe. Wọ́n dárúkọ àwọn bíi Sardauna of Sokoto, Ahmadu Bello, wọ́n dárúkọ Tafawa Balewa, wọ́n dárúkọ Nnamdi Azikiwe, wọ́n dárúkọ Jeremiah Oyeniyi Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀, wọ́n dárúkọ Aminu Kano àti àwọn kọ̀ǹgbẹ̀kọ̀ǹgbẹ̀ tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọlọ́lá àti aláṣẹ tí Ọlọ́run lò láti lè gba òmìnira fún orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Nínú ìròyìn wa tí ó wáyé láago 12 láǹfààní àti gbọ́ àwọn kókó ohun amẹ́nubà èyí tí ààrẹ sọ. Ẹ̀ka iná ni yóò pèsè ẹ̀ tí yóò sì di gbígbọ́ fún àwọn èèyàn ní wákàtí yìí. Màá fún àwọn obìnrin wa náà láàyè lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan láti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìyàtọ̀ kí ni àwọn ìyàtọ̀ tẹ́ rò pé ó ti bá àwọn obìnrin láti ìgbà náà títí di àkókò yìí, bóyá nínú ìmúra, bóyá nínú ìgbé ayé, bóyá nínú ètò ìdílé àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tí ń pè báyìí ọ̀nà Florence yóò bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. And Florence, what do you think is the improvement that has come to women between the time of independence and now, the Nigerian woman generally? What are the improvements that you believe, and what are still the challenges that women are facing as regards to equality as regards to home affairs, as regards to employment? Are women still being discriminated against in the workplace and in politics, in your opinion?
First off, good morning, everybody, and happy Independence, Nigeria. And to the question, I think for now, to my opinion, a lot has changed when it comes to women empowerment. Because before now, we are mostly put at the back seat and expected to be in the kitchen for our husband. But today we have the likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is making huge difference. And with that, we women, we ourselves, we can want to come out. For instance, Florence is talking to you now, and I am head home and abroad because of the opportunity given to women now in terms of education. Before now, maybe I would have been in the kitchen also trying to cook for my husband and all of that. Notwithstanding, I'm supposed to be in the kitchen, but my space in the world and my voice is now amplified because of education. And in terms of dress sense, I think we are now well informed because these days we happen to want to dress the way we are dressed. For instance, I'll go back to Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, my pardon my pronunciation. You would see that even when she's out of the country, she still represents Africa in her dress sense most of the time, which means that even when we are going far in life, we don't still lose the value of our culture. These days, people go as far as using African prints to design and to come out looking so elegant, which means that even with the fact that we are informed, we are educated, we are enlightened, the beauty in Africa is not put behind. It's still very much in our front. Now, notice that in terms of politics also, then women are not really given the opportunity so much to come to the forefront of political affairs. But these days, we even recently the office of the first lady was much more recognized before now. So I think in terms of politics, we've given the opportunity to want to air our opinion. Now you can have ladies who, even for SPG president, for instance, even for president of the country, we have women who are now manning the position, which is also one of the beautiful things that we have seen. Also, even our rights and advocacy. If you go to the social media aspect now, we have women who are no longer ashamed to tell you what they are going through in their homes. In terms of when they, even as far as talking about how maybe their assault, rape, and all of that. Before now, women are always cajoled to keep quiet. Even when you are dying in quotes in marriage, you are like, how would I tell the world? How would I say I want to go back to my father's house? All those fear, maybe for instance now. But now we have the voice. No matter how terrible your what you call that, your experience is, we have a platform that wants to hear you. So nobody is discriminating how far or how bad it has been. So long you can talk, and people will actually clap for you and listen to you. Also, in terms of sports and entertainment now, we have ladies. For instance, the last football, the women football league, where they brought the cup to us. So a lot of things are happening, and Nigeria, especially for the women now, we are taking the front seat. Because we're not really, nobody's telling you a woman, go and sit down. We want to be heard, and we are being heard. Also, in terms of technology and media, like I said, I am now talking to you. You can listen to me as a woman, as Florence Ibarima. And that alone also gives us the edge to do better things. Even in terms of advocacy, we have women advocates, we have women activists who are willing to take the gun by the horn. And when they have issues, they want to speak for the girl child, and nobody is saying keep quiet to a woman, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So I think so far so good. 65 years has been amazing because a lot has changed, especially for the woman's voice. So, and that's my piece on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I know that there is more from where that came from, and because we are trying to manage time, because at 8 o'clock we are expecting to bring in one of our guests who's going to be speaking to us on diverse issues, and we'll be posting questions to them as they come in, and it is very important. And one of the progress we have also made as regards gender is the signing into law of the Gender-Based Violence Act by the adoption by not less than 30-something states in the country. It has helped. Before that time, Nigeria has a terrible conviction record in terms of rape. Before the signing of that law, only 8 persons have been fully convicted for rape until that law was signed. And the Ondo State government also signed that law, adopted that particular law, and it's in practice now. That is why a state like Ekiti can publish the faces of sexual offenders. If you are caught in rape and you are convicted in Ekiti, your face will be published for all to see. Your faces will be so regularly. The state government carry out such activities just to discourage others from doing it. Listeners at home, we will be right back very soon. We will have to bring in our guests, and we'll begin the discussion. Nigeria at 65, the wins and the losses. Don't change that down. Thank you very much.
A beautiful country, a beautiful country, Nigeria. A beautiful country, a beautiful country, a beautiful country, Nigeria. We believe in the people of our nation. North to south, east to the west, the people richly blessed. We believe and so declare that we will put our nation first in all we think or say or do, for a nation to decide. Oh, Nigeria, Nigeria, a beautiful country, a beautiful country, a beautiful country, Nigeria. A beautiful country, a beautiful country, a beautiful country, Nigeria. We believe in the people of our nation. North to south, east to the west, the people richly blessed. We believe and so declare we will put our nation first in all we think or say or do, for the nation to decide. Nigeria.
I see a new Nigeria. I see a new Nigeria. I see a new Nigeria coming forth from the hand of the Lord. I see a new Nigeria. I see a new Nigeria. I see a new Nigeria coming forth from the hand of the Lord. Rejoice, sons and daughters of the land. Rejoice, there is healing in the land. I hear.
èèyàn ara lé àwọn àlejò méjì nínú àwọn mẹ́rin tí wọ́n mú abá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́hùn lẹ́nu wọn ní bó bá ti di bí aago 8. ẹni àkọ́kọ́ ni ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Prọfẹ́sọ̀ Dayọ̀ Fádúyìlé Professor Dayo Fájuyìlé jẹ́ dókítà onímọ̀ ìṣègùn Professor of Medicine ni wọ́n sì fi tìgbà kan jẹ́ alága ẹgbẹ́ gbogbo àwọn dókítà orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà Nigeria Medical Association. Lẹ́yìn náà wọ́n jẹ́ olùbádámọ̀ràn pàtàkì lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìlera fún gómìnà àná Olúwarótìmí Akérédolú. Lẹ́yìn èyí ní lọ́ọ́lọ́ọ́ báyìí àwọn ni alága ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń ṣe ìjọba ilé ìwé ìjọba àpapọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ olùkọ́ Federal College of Education Kòtàngórà Niger State. Àwọn ni chairman governing council báyìí àwọn náà fìfẹ́ hàn sí láti di gómìnà ní ọdún méjì sẹ́yìn láti di gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. He was a former governorship aspirant in this state. Àwọn ni yóò máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa pẹ̀lú wọn òun ni Honourable Ayọ̀dèjì Ológunmẹ́ta ti.
Coming forth from the hand of the Lord. I see a new Nigeria. Oh, I see a new Nigeria. Oh, I see a new Nigeria.
Honourable Ayọ̀dèjì Ológunmẹ́ta wọ́n jẹ́ onímọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ní ipa ìwakùsà mining engineering. He holds a master's degree in mining engineering from the Federal University of Technology Àkúrẹ́. Wọ́n sì jẹ́ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ fún oyè ọ̀mọ̀wé PhD student ní United Kingdom in the same field of mining engineering. Àwọn náà yóò darapọ̀ mọ́ wa bá aago mẹ́jọ bá ti lù. Àwọn méjèèjì òun la ó máa bá sọ̀rọ̀ nípasẹ̀ àwọn ìpèníjà èyí tí a ní àti àwọn àṣeyọrí tí a ti ṣe nínú ètò ìlera àti nínú lílo ohun àlùmọ́ọ́nì tọ́lọ́run ọba fún wa fún ìdàgbàsókè orílẹ̀-èdè wa. Lẹ́yìn tá a bá bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ tán àwa náà yànnàná díẹ̀ láti ilé agbára ní àárín ká tó gbé àwọn àlejò méjì míì wọlé. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Olúwagbénga Àjọ̀ǹgbọ́lọ́ tí wọ́n jẹ́ olùdarí àjọ Open Sunshine Initiative tí wọ́n sì tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ìjìjàgbara follow the money ní ẹ̀ka tó wà fún mímọ̀ bí a ṣe ná owó òlú sí kí la fowó òlú ṣe tá a bá gba two naira yẹn ibo ni ó wọlé sí. Ó jẹ́ ohun tí àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ní àjọ tiwọn. Ẹnìkẹrin òun ni Honourable Adélóyè tí wọ́n jẹ́ olóṣèlú ọ̀kan pàtàkì nínú àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ADC African Democratic Congress ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Wọ́n sì jẹ́ lámèétọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ ní ìlú jákèjádò. Àwọn méjèèjì ni yóò máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa bó bá di aago mẹ́sàn-án àbọ̀yán bá aago mẹ́jọ ṣe kù dẹ̀dẹ̀ kó lù yé. Àwọn méjì àkọ́kọ́ òun láàgbé wọlé nígànnú ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìlera àti ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ lílo ohun àlùmọ́ọ́nì tí Ọlọ́run ọba mi tó fi fún wa. Ẹ mọ́ yìí kúrò ńbẹ̀.
Nàìjíríà yìí tí gbogbo wa ní kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sí ibòmíràn tí a lè lọ àjò lè dàbí ilé ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan gbé kémi gbé. bóyá kẹjọ gbé kémi gbé bóyá kẹjọ gbé kémi gbé nàìjíríà yìí ti gbogbo wa ní kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sí òmíràn tí a lè lọ àjò lè dàbí ilẹ̀
Hello.
ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Happy Independence, Nigerians.
Listeners at home, the voice you are hearing is the voice of erudite professor of medicine, Professor Dayo Faduyile. Professor Dayo Faduyile was a former chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, that is the Association of Nigerian Doctors throughout the Federation. And he was the special advisor on health to Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, and currently is the chairman governing council of Federal College of Education, Kotangora. Once again, sir, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here.
Sir, we at iPower 102.7 FM, we have tagged this particular year independence as Nigeria at 65, the wins and the losses. And as an expert in the aspect of medicine, let's start from medicine before we go to education. Where have we won, and what losses have we incurred, in your opinion, sir?
Well, thank you very much. In terms of health, I think like if you had the President's national address, we have had health institutions given to the populace to the grassroots. There have been an improvement in the health facilities generally all over the country. We have had a lot of primary health care centers around, and we have had a lot of tertiary health institutions. Each state in the federation has got a federal medical center, and even some have more than one in their state. And this has made health to be closer to the people generally. Again, we have had increase in the number of personnel that are working in our different health institutions. I would say largely those are the that we have had in terms of health. Unfortunately, we have had a lot of negatives, as it were, at this day, because many of these health institutions have not had the opportunity of having the best of equipment and the best of personnel. Many of them are dotted here and there, and the way we are expected them to be taken care of is a far cry from the expectation. Also, Nigeria at a particular time was almost taking care of its health by itself, where we have so many pharmaceutical companies that are producing our drugs, our IV fluid, and others, including vaccines. But over the years, we have had a terrible downturn that many of our pharmaceutical companies have gone under, and we cannot produce most of the drugs that we use. And this is one of the areas that the health has gone down in recent years. So it's a mixed position. We have had a fairly progress over the years, but we have not been able to manage it effectively to the benefit of our people.
Thank you very much, sir. And let us go to look at the whole scenario from another angle. Right now, there is a large exodus of health practitioner from our country. Nurses, doctors, dentists, everyone seems to be running away from the country. And these questions will be in two steps, sir. One, why are they running and why have we not been able to stop it? Two is that you are also an erudite professional in this particular field. Why are you still here?
Well, let me first start from the latter question. Uh, if you remember the history of education in Nigeria, some 20, 50 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, many of the Irish or those who came for missionary job, they came when Nigeria was still in the backward, let me put at it, and they stay in our villages. They built their churches as well as schools, and they did not stay in the town. They stay with our parents and they taught them. And many of our parents graduated. The first set were teachers, and then we, the second generation, came and we went into the different professions. The first question is that if those people had not left the comfort of their different countries or towns and come to our villages, where they created schools like Igboeleri, Eriofa, all those schools at those times, and taught our parents, where we will be. So it is going to be inhumane to those of us who are beneficiary, direct second generation beneficiary, to dump all their sacrifices. In fact, at those times, many of them died from common malaria that we can treat. Many of them had yellow fever because they lived in a place that they are very strange to them. So, if in the second generation now we now say we dump our people, we leave them because we want to have greener pasture. Some of us must continue to stay here to teach the new generation and to see that we take care of the health of our people. So, some of us have decided we'll do that bit for our country, our fellow countrymen and women. On the second side, for every activity in life, we have what we call the pull and push factor. In Nigeria as it is, the push factor is so much, because if we don't have a good environment that can make anybody who is working within the vicinity to be comfortable, it might be very difficult for us to ensure that those people work. We have issues about our housing, we have issues about our security, we have issues about equipment, we have issues about general stability within the environment. These are push factors that are making a lot of people not very comfortable to stay within the country. And again, what are the pull factors? Largely, the pull factor is about remuneration, it's about having the tools for you to work. Because in those countries, you have a lot of equipment that are available for you to ply your trade, and it's useless for you to stay in a hospital environment. You know what to do, you are capable of doing it, but you don't have the equipment. You want to, some of us, we want to say, okay, let me go to a place that I can actually do the work that I have been trained to do. And again, the remuneration. When Nigerian naira fell to an abysmal level compared to dollars, then suddenly the difference of Nigerian workers and those of workers outside this country became very, very huge. And one thing we have to understand is that medicine is a universal profession. You have you don't need it's still the same body that we are caring for. So any medical doctor who is well trained in any part of the world can fit in another part of the world and perform very well. So you cannot blame doctors or healthcare workers who decides to go to other countries to ply their trade, especially if you want to check the remuneration, you see that it is huge between those who are staying at home and those who are working outside the country.
Professor,
But it is not all.
Professor, please
Yes, sir.
stay on the line, sir. Stay on the line, sir. This discussion will be elaborate. We are being joined from the United Kingdom by Honorable Ayodeji Ologumeta, who is a mining engineering and is currently a PhD student in mining engineering in the United Kingdom. Honorable Ayodeji Ologumeta, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Thank you for
Good
joining
morning.
us. We have been discussing Nigeria at 65, the wins and the losses. And we have been speaking with Professor Dayo Faduile, who is a known doctor and a well-known doctor, and is currently the chairman of the governing council of Federal College of Education, Kotangora. You are in the mining sector. Since we were born, sir, we have always had that Nigeria has over 50 solid minerals. We are richly blessed, but we cannot see the signs. What is the problem? Have we made progress in the mining sector since 1965? And what are our gains and what are our losses? What are the low-hanging fruits that we could have exploited that we have not done in your aspect, in your field? Can you, in 10 minutes, engage us on that before we go back to Professor?
Yeah, thank you very much, presenter. Well, let me say first that Nigeria has made significant progress, and that is not to say that we do not have areas where Nigeria should have improved. As far as mining sector is concerned, this government has taken drastic action to make sure that they consolidate the efforts of the Ministry of Mines such that we now have a body who regulates the activity of the mines. The challenge we have in the mining industry is that the big players, the rich guys, the governors, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, use insecurity as a bait to make sure that Nigerian government do not fully tap into the benefits and dividends of the mining industry. Mining industry is a huge industry that going by the number and the amount, especially the exploitable reserve that we have in the gold, in the in the gold industry, we would have gone a little further than this. But a lot of our big players use insecurity as a bait to make sure that we do not get enough from what God has given us as a way of making enough money. For example, if you look at the gold in Samfara, a lot of guys are there who are exploiting those things illegally, making it difficult for the federal government to take administrative possession of the mining industry in Zamfara. And it's taking away serious financial, it's putting on us serious financial burden, and it's taking away our revenue. And if we can move forward a little by making sure that the federal government decisively tackle the issue of insecurity in the northern part of Nigeria, we can say that Nigeria will have maximum dividend.
Honor,
As far as mining industry is
honorable, the allegations you have made against the governors in the north is a huge one. It's a huge one. It is your industry. But however, we consider that allegation quite huge. But do you even think that the mining we are doing in Nigeria is efficient? You have seen mining in Nigeria and you have seen how it is done in the United Kingdom. Would you say that our method of operation is efficient and is the one that will be sufficient profit to the people of the country?
well, as far as mining industry is concerned, mining is huge. Is a huge industry that is capital intensive, and because it is capital intensive, it is the government that partners with private sector to make the industry boom. We have the manpower, we have what we call the human capital to exploit our mineral resources efficiently. The challenge is the problem of translating those manpower to the efficient stage. How do these people, how do they get them engaged very well? Now, people don't want to pay mining engineers to exploit legally. So what they do is they get people who are not well trained, who do not have the technology that it requires. For example, I don't know if you know about a place. It's between the border of Nigeria and between the border of Nigeria and
The
Benin Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benin Republic. Now, where we have a lot of gemstones, a lot of them, is in Oyo State. You will see people, corruption again is a problem. Corruption of our immigration officers. You see people cross our borders to Komu. The place is called Komu. It's between Benin Republic and Oyo State. Yeah, and Nigeria. And these people will give our immigration officers money. They go there, they exploit the mineral resources without even coming back to give the required revenue to the government. People make millions of dollars out from that local place without giving enough revenue to Nigerian government, as long as they can pass the bribes to the immigration officers. Another problem that we must look at is that there is nothing that is different between exploiting mineral resources as far as technology, manpower, and machineries are concerned. In Nigeria, we have one of the best universities that produces mining engineers in Nigeria, which is Federal University of Technology. In fact, as I'm talking to you, in West Africa, a man who was a graduate of that Federal University of Technology is the chairman of the mining engineers in West Africa as I speak to you. So it is not, and he has been the chairman for more than 7 years now. So it is not a matter of whether we are efficient, it's a matter of whether the government of Nigeria is ready to tap fully into it. And we must also say that the administration of the current the current administration, which is the government of President Bola Tinubu, has done a lot under the leadership of the Minister of Mines.
Before we let you
go,
engineer, before we let you go this morning, as Ondo State people, we have a particular mineral resources called bitumen. It has been in Agbabu. Even in our primary school, we were told that it's the second largest deposit in the world of bitumen. It is supposed to be used to tar our roads. Why have we not been able? Tell us like a professional. Explain it to us like a baby. To Ondo State people like a baby. Why have we not been able to refine and use the bitumen in Agbabu? Then we'll let you go. Then we'll go back to Professor Fadil.
Now, the problem with the bitumen deposits in Ondo State is the problem of the unseriousness of the government, is the problem of the not being proactive enough to invest into the bitumen. Now, if we begin to exploit that bitumen, it will change the landscape of the economy of Ondo State. But our challenge is that no individual will have enough resources or to leverage on connection that can get them funds to invest enough in that place to get us to where we are going. It is a large investment, it is a huge investment, and anyone that will invest in it must have the cooperation of the federal government of Nigeria. And don't forget that the state government can do just little because of the fact that there is law in Nigeria, and the law limits the power of the state governors to really exploit mineral resources. If we leave it to the federal government and they invest hugely in that place, I can tell you that it will change the economy landscape of Ondo State and Nigeria at large, because that place is a huge deposit. It is shameful, it is painful that we leave that kind of resources there, lying fallow, not being exploited, wasted. It's shameful, and I just want to employ the federal government that they should look inwards and make sure that that place is invested in. If it's well invested in, we will not need to be importing bitumen. And let me tell you, bitumen is not just bitumen. Bitumen is a content of petroleum that has high sulfur content. So if we begin to exploit that thing, petroleum too will be found there. Jet A1 will be found there. PMS will be found there. Diesel will be found there. But the challenge we have is that nobody wish the federal government do not want to invest enough in those places because they feel like it will take a longer time to get money out of the place.
How
they
long
will prefer a project they will do.
Please, sorry, if the federal government begins today, how long do you think it will take before they begin to make money from it, so that we can get a picture of why they are not invested
That is
in
the challenge. That is the is a long-term investment. It's a long-term investment. It's just like Dangote refinery. That refinery didn't come up until about 6-7 years. You understand? Now it means that even if a government starts, there is no guarantee that the government will finish the job before it gets out of government. So they would prefer a project that they would do that they can get money from immediately. Even if that project is not viable, if it's not economically viable, if it is not financially wise to invest in such programs, they would prefer to invest in it because it will get them their money quickly. But this is an investment that will change our economy, that would increase our GDP, that would increase our revenue, and that will lower our debts.
Thank you very much for joining us. We will let you go maybe at 9:30. If we can still call on you, then we'll call on you. But now we want to engage our professor of medicine, because Ilera Loro. Professor Fatuyile, sorry, are you still with us, sir?
I'm still here.
Sir, and we know you for one thing, that virtually every day you give health advice to people on different kind of disease and how to prevent it, how to live an healthy life. So now we are going to switch to Yoruba, because the advice, we want to benefit, we want our people in the spirit of this independence to benefit with what you share online. I follow you online, and I know that virtually every day you are always dishing out advice on how to avoid certain sicknesses and this thing. So we want you, afẹ́kẹ́ gba àwọn ará ilé lámọ̀ràn lórí àwọn àìsàn pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ bí àìsàn ibà àti ní báyìí àwa rí wípé àìsàn kíndìnrín, àìsàn àwọn àìsàn tí àti rọpárọsẹ̀ ó wọ́pọ̀. Afẹ́kẹ́ fi Yorùbá níwọ̀nba, mo mọ̀ pé èbó mọ̀ wọnú ẹ̀, yóò mọ̀ lè èbó lọ. ẹ máa fèbó díẹ̀ kún kẹ́ ẹ fi ṣàlàyé fáwọn èèyàn wa bó o la ṣe lè dènà àrùn ibà bó o la ṣe lè dènà àrùn rọpárọsẹ̀ àtàrùn kíndìnrín tó jẹ́ pé ó ń bá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa jà báyìí a fẹ́ jàǹfààní ẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ tó kúrò lórí atẹ́gùn láàárọ̀ yìí.
ẹ ṣe olóòtú àwọn ìbéèrè tẹ́ ẹ béèrè wọ̀nyí púpọ̀ wọn kò lè sí àyè àti lè parí àti lè sọ̀rọ̀ ní púpọ̀ lórí wọn.
ẹ ṣe ní kéékèèké.
ìdí ẹ̀ ni wípé àwọn onírúurú àìsàn lẹ sọ pé ká sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀. ṣùgbọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ èkíní ni wípé àìsàn rọpárọsẹ̀ nǹkan tó ń fà á tó ń fi wọ́pọ̀ ní tí ìfúnpá ènìyàn bá ga eléyìí tá à ń pè ní hypertension. tí ìfúnpá bá ga ó ń fà á kó pa èèyàn lójijì tá à ń pè ní heart attack. ó dẹ̀ tún lè fà á kí ọkàn ènìyàn má lè ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa tá à ń pè ní heart failure. ó dẹ̀ tún lè fà á kí èèyàn rọpárọsẹ̀ tí à ń pè ní stroke. àìsàn ìfúnpá ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru ìfúnpá tó ga tá à ń pè ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru ó jẹ́ àìsàn kan tí kò kí èèyàn lè mọ̀ pé ó wà lára òun. ìgbà téèyàn bá máa mọ̀ pé òun bá òun fínra á ti kọjá á ti bà nǹkan jẹ́. a máa bẹ gbogbo àwọn ènìyàn wípé ó di dandan kí gbogbo wa ká lọ máa ṣe ìfúnpá wa tá a bá ti kọjá 20 ọdún ó kéré pa lẹ́ẹ̀kan lóṣù 6 ká ṣe ìfúnpá wa nítorí pé ìyẹn nìkan la lè fi mọ̀ bóyá ìfúnpá wa lọ sí òkè. eléyìí tẹ́lẹ̀ tún sọ nípa àìsàn kíndìnrín. lóòótọ́ láìsàn kíndìnrín ti wá wọ́pọ̀ lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí. ìdí ẹ̀ ni wípé púpọ̀ nù wa ìmukúmu wa ti pọ̀ jù. kò sí nǹkan tí a rí tán mu tá a fi ń bá wọn mu amú pẹlẹbẹ amú nílá amú ọ̀pá ẹ̀yìn amú ọ̀pá òkè gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ní iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe nínú ẹ̀dọ̀ wa àti nínú kíndìnrín wa pàápàá. púpọ̀ nù nǹkan tá à ń lò àwọn oògùn òyìnbó àwọn oògùn tí dókítà kọ fún wa tá a kàn ń rọ́mì púpọ̀ nù wọn ó ń ba kíndìnrín jẹ́. ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tó fà á tó pọ̀ jù lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ni gbogbo yẹ kó mọ̀ ẹ má bínú pé mo ń porúkọ gbogbo àwọn concussion tá a mú káàkiri tá a mọ iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe gbogbo àwọn àgbo wọ̀nyẹn ó yẹ ká dẹ́kun ẹ̀ torí wípé púpọ̀ nù wọn ó ń fàbọ̀ sí kíndìnrín wa. yàtọ̀ sí eléyìí tá a tún sọ ìtọ́jú kíndìnrín wa ó di dandan a gbọ́dọ̀ mọ nǹkan tá à ń jẹ a gbọ́dọ̀ mọ oògùn tá à ń lò nítorí pé tá a bá máa tọ́jú ẹ̀ kíndìnrín ni ó jẹ́ ibi tí ó ń fọ gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀ ara tó máa jẹ́ kéèyàn eléyìí tí ò bá dáa kéèyàn máa tọ̀ dànù èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ tọ́jú kíndìnrín. yàtọ̀ sí eléyìí ara nǹkan tó tún ń ba kíndìnrín jẹ́ ni ìfúnpá tó ga tá à ń pè lẹ́jẹ̀ ríru hypertension tó ń ba kíndìnrín jẹ́. àwọn tó dẹ̀ ní àìsàn ìtọ̀ ṣúgà tá à ń pè ní diabetes ó tún lè ba kíndìnrín jẹ́. ìtọ̀ ṣúgà àti ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru àwọn náà yàtọ̀ sí pé àwọn méjèèjì lè ba kíndìnrín jẹ́ wọ́n tún lè fà á kéèyàn fọ́jú. ó wá di dandan kí àwọn èèyàn kan máa tọ́jú ara wọn kán lọ ṣe àyẹ̀wò lóòrèkóòrè kán lè mọ bí ara wọn ṣe jẹ́. àìsàn ibà ó jẹ́ àìsàn tí ó wọ́pọ̀ ní ibi tá à ń gbé yìí tá à ń pè ní tropical region. àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ sọ wípé prevention is better than cure. báwo náà ṣe ń sọ ní Yorùbá.
ká dènà àrùn ó ṣẹ́jú kí a máa wá ìtọ́jú sí i lọ.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ká rí wípé agbègbè wa wà ní ìmọ́tótó. nǹkan tó ń fa àìsàn ibà tó wọ́pọ̀ jù ni ẹ̀fọn tó ń gbé àwọn kòkòrò tó ń fa ibà. àwọn ẹ̀fọn yìí wọ́n ń gbé nínú agbègbè tí ó bá dọ̀tí. ìdọ̀tí wa ti pọ̀ jù lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí. kí gbogbo wa kárí wípé agbègbè wa pé ó mọ́. Lágbègbè wa bá mọ́, a ní lè rí àwọn ẹ̀fọn tó máa gbé àwọn àìsàn yìí. Yàtọ̀ síyẹn, ká dẹ̀ rí wípé a tọ́jú ara wa ní òrèkóòrè. Púpọ̀ nínú wa tó bá ti fẹ́ rẹ̀ wá díẹ̀, bó ṣe yẹ ká tètè lọ sílé ìwòsàn, a kọ́kọ́ jókòó sínú ilé. A máa sọ pé a máa lo gbá, a máa làwo, gbogbo wọ̀nyẹn ló níṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe tó fi ń lágọ̀ọ́ ara wa tí ò dáa. Ká tètè rí wípé a lọ rí àwọn dókítà àti tọ́jú wa tá a bá ní àìsàn ibà. Ọlọ́run máa fún wa ní ìlera.
àmín. Ìbéèrè kan wà tí mo fẹ́ béèrè nígànnú ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìlera yẹn. Àwa béèrè ẹyọ kan péré sí ní ti ètò ẹ̀kọ́. Kíní kan wà tí wọ́n ń pè ní àṣàjọ àbí àkàpọ̀. Tí àìsàn bá ń ṣe èèyàn, tára èèyàn bí èèyàn ṣiṣẹ́, tára èèyàn wá ṣe tó wá fẹ́ rẹ èèyàn díẹ̀, èèyàn ó lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn oníkẹ́míìsì. Èèyàn ó fún wọn ní bóyá àpò kan, wọ́n ó wá bá yàn kájọ oògùn ẹ̀jẹ̀ kóró kan, oògùn ẹ̀fọ́rí kóró kan, oògùn nírun kóró kan, wọ́n ó ṣàjọ. Èèyàn ó wá, wọ́n ó ní kéèyàn fomi lò ó. Bó o ní ojú wo ni ẹ fi wo irú lílo oògùn bí eléyìí?
Ẹ ṣe olóòtú, ó dàbí ìgbà téèyàn bá ní ọkọ̀ ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ tí ó bá ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe, tó lọ bá èèyàn kan tó ń ṣe wẹ́dà, tó sọ pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ ṣáà bá mi kí ọkọ̀ yìí kẹ́ ẹ bá mi jó nǹkan papọ̀. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ó lè jó nǹkan méjì mẹ́ta papọ̀ tí ọkọ̀ dẹ̀ rìn díẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n èèyàn mọ̀ wípé iṣẹ́ àjàǹbàkù ló ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ n sòtítọ́, ẹni tó bá mọṣẹ́ ló yẹ kan lọ bá. Ìtàn iṣẹ́ rí nínú bá a ṣe ń ronú nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. A gbàgbọ́ pé àwọn oògùn kan wà tá à ń pè ní gbogbo olùṣe. Ó lè wo gbogbo nǹkan ó lè wo nínú, ó lè wo gbàrùn, ó lè wo gbá. Ìyẹn ló wà lórí wa. Òun làwọn tí ò lọ sílé ẹ̀kọ́ tán gbàgbọ́ pé ókè kan tó ṣe ẹ́ lélẹ̀, wọ́n fún ẹ lélẹ̀, fún ẹ lélẹ̀, fún ẹ lélẹ̀, fún ẹ lélẹ̀, fún ẹ lélẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn oògùn tó ń ṣàjọ yẹn, púpọ̀ nínú wọn ó lè ṣe jẹ́ iṣẹ́ kan náà ń ṣe. Ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo wa gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ wípé kò sóògùn téèyàn lò tí ò ní nǹkan tó ń àlè sọ pé tó ń bàjẹ́, nǹkan tí ó lè bàjẹ́ nínú àgọ́ ara wa. Tá a bá ti lò tó bá ti pọ̀ jù, ó máa fa wàhálà fún ènìyàn. Tó gbogbo àwọn àkànpọ̀, gbogbo àwọn àṣàjọ tó ń ṣe yẹn, nǹkan tó ń dá sí ara ènìyàn pọ̀ ju nǹkan tí a wàá rò wípé ó fi ń ṣiṣẹ́. Eléyìí tó wá burú jù ni pé kí ló dé táwọn ènìyàn wa ò lè lọ bá ẹni tó mọṣẹ́ kan lọ tọ́jú ara wọn, tó ń lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n mọ ọ̀tún sí òsì, wọ́n fi ń gbàgbọ́ nínú wọn àti gba ìwòsàn. Ẹ̀mí kan ni gbogbo wa ní o. Tá a bá dẹ̀ tọ́jú ẹ̀ tó bá ti bọ́, wọ́n ní abẹ́rẹ́ bọ́ lọ́wọ́ adẹ́tẹ̀. Ó dètè ni.
Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Sir, we will switch back to English now, sir. The question I want to ask you, you are the chairman of the governing council of a college of education. Recently, there has been a trend. State governments, especially state governments, wanting to convert colleges of education to university. And the NCE certificate was designed to fill the lacuna in the education sector, especially in primary education, in the availability of teachers in primary education. I even know schools. There's a school in Ekiti State that has phased out its NCE program now. It's now a fully fledged university. It used to be a college of education. What is your opinion about this, sir?
Well, thank you very much. It's important for me to make a small correction. I am not the chairman of Federal College of Education, chairman governing council. My institution, Federal College of Education, Kotangora, has been upgraded to a university. So I am the chairman and pro-chancellor of Federal University of Education, Kotangora. So your question is very apt. The truth about it is that at a time in the history of this country, the minimum certification for teaching in primary school was grade 2. After a while, it became the one that they will go to university and they will say they do associate degree or whatever they. So at that time, when I was in primary school, they say I have gone to associate. I don't know. It was associate. Okay, that is the level. And after a while, the grade 2 was phased out, and they made NC the minimum qualification for teaching at that primary level. But as it were, I believe that gradually the NCE is being phased out in such a way that the minimum is likely going to be a degree in a very short while. But the truth about the major problem in NCE is that NCE admission has the same admission requirement as in those who want to enter for degree program. So most students, prospective students, prefer to go straight to have a degree, either a degree in education, and in 4 years you have your degree. Meanwhile, if you enroll for NC, in 3 years you have NC. Excuse me. And if you have to obtain a degree after NC, you have to take another 3 years. That is 6 years to obtain a degree in education, rather than taking 4 years to go straight and enroll and become a degree holder in education. So most prospective students prefer to go into a direct degree and relegated the colleges of education to having very few number. This dwindling of student enrollment has caused many of the institutions to look inwards and see how they can shore up the number of enrollment. And even the National Council of NCCE of Education has gone ahead to approve the dual mandate, where each college now can transmute from NCE program directly into a degree program. And it is a norm that Nigeria has just taken up. So there's nothing we can do about it. And why I went to that historical perspective is for you to see how we have gradually moved from one level to another. And it looks to me that the degree program will very soon be the minimum to train as students in the primary primary education level.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your time, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
These are your parting shots to the people of Ondo State and Nigerians in general as we mark our 65th year independence.
Thank you very much. It has been a very tough history period in Nigeria. We have had our ups and downs, but I believe that if we continue to have hope and a renewed hope for that matter, this end will be brighter than how we started. In my own view, following the trajectory of this current government, I mean the national government, I believe that we have a clear and focused pathway that they are going, and it will end in praises for all of us. Happy 65th Independence Anniversary to all Nigerians.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. Thank you very much. We are very grateful. And listeners at home, that was Professor Dayo Faduile, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman, Federal University of Education, Kotangora, Niger State. And he has been speaking to us in as regards the health sector and also on education of our people. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Right now, we shall take a short break and we will be back. Mr. Kiadebayo, our in-house analyst at the station, is here. And Inioluwa Adekoya is also here. Abdulrazak Alaba is still here with us. We shall be looking at some of the issues raised by the persons that we interview and some other aspects before we bring in the next two guests at 9 o'clock. Please don't change the dial. If you're just joining us, this is iPower 102.7 FM, Emurele Owo. Thank you very much.
Nàìjíríà yìí ti gbogbo wa ni kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sí òmíràn tí a lè lọ àjò lè dàbí ilé ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan gbé kémi gbé.
Ó yẹ kájọ ṣàṣàrò ló dára ká finú inú ká fi kún lókun kí Nàìjíríà ó lè tẹ̀síwájú. Ogun ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí ti tó ká gbàgbé ìjà ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà Haúsá Ìgbò pẹ̀lú Yorùbá ṣe láṣàjọjì ìjà òmìnira ni a tún mára wájà èdìrẹ́ ogun èṣù yìí gbé kájọ gbé. Ó yẹ kájọ gbé.
Kémi gbé.
Ó yẹ kájọ gbé. Yéṣu.
Kémi gbé. Nàìjíríà yìí ti gbogbo wa náà kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sí òmíràn tí a lè lọ àjò lè dàbí ilé ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan gbé kémi gbé.
ọmọ ìyá kan náà ṣàlàjẹ́ ìjà ló dé torí lòwe.
Nípa ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú wa èyí ló kó bá gbogbo wa o ló kó bá ọrọ̀ ajé wa.
Torí kò má lè ṣe kí ìjà máa wà ìjàmbá ti tó ká parí àgbéyà.
Torí àwọn ọmọ wa tí ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn kí la fẹ́ sọ pé àgbélé ayé ṣe gbé kájọ gbé. Ó yá kájọ gbé.
Kémi gbé.
Ó yá kájọ gbé.
Kémi gbé. Nàìjíríà yìí ti gbogbo wa ní kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sí òmíràn tí a lè lọ àjò lè dàbí ilé ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan gbé kémi gbé.
A beautiful morning to you here. You're on to iPower 102.7 FM. And happy independence to all Nigerians out there. I am Inyolua Adekoya, popularly known as Sports Diva.
Let us examine the progress in sport in Nigeria. Let us some of progress we have made and maybe there are other places where we are falling.
Well, I think now Nigeria has actually advanced. They have advanced in the world of sports. We can see that games internationally and games locally, we are moving ahead of others. But the thing affecting us in Nigeria, I feel like, is proper poor management of the resources that we have now. Because if there were better management of the resources that are in store now in the world of sport, talking Nigeria Football Federation, it would assist us in giving better or getting better to assist our sportsmanship. We would see it in the results of the games that are played by our players, and we can see that our players, for the likes of Victor Osimhen, the likes of Victor Boniface, they are doing exploits in other teams, Galatasaray and all, and it brings us much joy as Nigerians when they mention their name and they are representing us proudly. We can see in boxing, Tuefi Ajagba was just put on the list of the 10 heavyweight champions. That's a very good one for Nigeria. And Anthony Joshua's name known far and wide, although he has not been able to achieve to people's expectation, but he's still getting there, and him being a two-time heavyweight champion is a proud one for Nigeria. So we can see Toby Amuson too in the track and field events. We can see that she's yeah, so yeah, she even won one silver medal for us recently in the track and field event. So the talking sports, talking Nigeria, where we've got into, I feel like we're making our mark in the sporting arena. We are doing our best. We are doing this. We are doing that, and it is, and we are proud of it. As Nigerians, we are proud.
Let me talk to Abdulrazak Alawa. Abdulrazak Alawa is also a researcher in this station. He's also practices in both languages, both indigenous and English language. Let us please say hi to the people. And I would ask you a question. You, by your story, which is you grew up in, then I want you to throw some light on the issue of religious harmony. Nigeria is facing religious tension today. What do you think how harmonious do you think we are, and what do you think that we need to do? Especially taking a lesson from your city.
A very good morning to you all our listeners. Happy 65th anniversary, we Nigerians. Aki gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa níbikíbi tẹ́ bá ti ń gbọ́ nílé lóko àti lẹ́yìn òdì. A kú ayẹyẹ òmìnira fún orílẹ̀-èdè Nigeria. Talking about ethnical diverse and peace and coherence between people of different background living in one accordance in a particular city called Ilorin. For instance, in Ilorin, we have different persons, different people from different backgrounds. We have the Fulani, we have the Sefi, we have the Nope, we have the Yoruba, and they live in coherence without any problem. For instance, in Ilorin now, there are some parts that you see mostly the Hausas. They dominated those areas. We have the likes of Ojaoba, Balogun, we have Gambari side as well, some parts in Gambari, and there are some parts in Ilorin as well where we have the mostly dominated by the Yorubas. We have the likes of Ajikobi, Alanamu, and the likes like that, the Pakata area and the like. You will hardly see a person from other that speak any language apart from the Yoruba part. But the main thing now is if you're going to the church or a mosque, we have people of different background. We have the Fulani, the Hausa, the Yoruba, and the likes. They go to the same mosque, they pray in the same place, the same space, without any problem. For instance, in the Lawrence Central Mosque now, if today happens to be a Friday, you see people of different background. You see Igbo as well, who usually come to mosque to pray. It might be like this particular thing is kind of humorous to some people because you seeing an Igbo being a Muslim it's kind of scarce. But in Lorraine there are some like that. There are some Hausas as well that are Christians. There are some Fulani that are Christians. But in Ilorin you see different people with different background, but they come in unity, they come in harmony to become one and make a very
our interest is how is that possible? How is that structure maintained? How has that kind of harmony been sustained? and what lessons can others learn from that?
Okay, Ilorin is a place that is known for, according to history, is a place that people come from diverse backgrounds to market a particular thing, either clothes, either iron or metal, anything that you have that you want to market. You go to Ilorin and market this thing there. So my own message from this is that people from different backgrounds try as much as possible to come hand in hand together by making sure that there is no issue that will differentiate or deviate them from one another. For
Let me ask that question to Mr. Kandebayo, who is not just a public affairs analyst but also a certified historian. How do communities like that, communities that are melting points like that, how do they achieve that kind of balance? And how can we achieve that balance everywhere?
Thank you very much. Alaba has said a lot. He has given us
a picture
of what's actually obtainable in Ilorin. Now, if you look at the geographical location of Ilorin is in the central part of Nigeria. Now, and when something is at the central, which means that there's a pool of persons of different religious beliefs, of different ethnic and let's say cultural background that come together. Now, you knowing fully well that okay, probably I'm not originally from this place. I just find myself here by virtue of what I've come to do. Then common sense depicts that you operate within what is actually obtainable in where you find yourself. And you're not trying to subdue their culture, their beliefs and their norms to your own personal beliefs that you're coming in with. That is one. Secondly, Ilorin, like I've earlier said, number one is a conglomerate of various ethnic groups. The Yorubas, the Igbos, the Tifis, the Fulani, the Hausas, and like you have just mentioned now, the Igbos in particular, that are even taking part in Juma services. For the first time, I must confess to you, I'm hearing that. So it's still the fact that because they subjected themselves to the religious, ethnic, and cultural belief of where they find themselves, probably for two reasons. Number one, for the sake of peace. Number two, for the sake of maybe their business activities. Because like we discussed yesterday, like the Igbos, the Igbos, I'm sorry to say this, is an autonomous state, but very many they find themselves in a place that probably they actually want their groups, their ways to be to enjoy good patronage. Then they have the choice than to understudy the culture and the courtesy of where they find themselves. And by the time you get yourself integrated into the courtesy and the culture of that group, it will be very easy for you to now, sell your wares. It's very easy for you to popularize what you are doing. So I think these are the factors that actually bring about the cohabitation, the peaceful cohabitation of any person that find himself in Ilorin. Now, having said that, how can we now replicate it in other parts of Nigeria? Now, if only the mentality, the beliefs at which we all move into Ilorin, like Alaba has rightly said, if you can just replicate same in anywhere we find ourselves, no doubt there will be peace and harmony. But the very minute you try to subjugate the norms, cultures, tradition, and beliefs of your host community, of your host environment, then there will be a pushback. And when such thing begins to happen, peace and harmony is far away from such places. So what I'm trying to say in nutshell is that wherever we find ourselves, be you Yoruba, be you Hausa, be you Igbo, be you Fulani, the best thing for you is to making sure that you understudy the culture, tradition, norms, and courtesy really matters of where you find yourself, and operate within that confine. If you can operate within that confine, there will not be cause for any alarm. Like Alaba has rightly said, as going by what he observed, has brought about the peaceful coexistence of various ethnic groups, various religious beliefs of people that find themselves in learning. So I think if you can replicate same in other places we find ourselves, no doubt there will be peace and harmony, and we will definitely try better where we find ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, listeners at home. You can join this conversation in the next 5 minutes before we bring in our next set of guests. You can join this conversation by calling 08165524699. Nigeria at 65, the wins and the losses. Nigeria at 65, the wins and the losses. 08165524699. You can join this conversation, and you can also go to our social media handles and drop your comments there. On Facebook, iPower1027 FM. On Instagram, iPower1027 FM. TikTok, iPower1027 FM. And on X, iPower1027. And our studio line is 08165524699. Those are, you can speak either in English or in Yoruba or Pidgin English. It is fine. And as far as you will be speaking the language that a reasonable proportion of our listeners understand. So, High Power 1027 FM. So, we will be waiting for your call. We want to hear your views on Nigeria at 65. In the next few minutes, we shall be having Honorable Kunle Adeloye. Honorable Kunle Adeloye is a leading member of the ADC in Ondo State. He is a former local government supervisor, and he has also held various positions in government in the past. We will be right back shortly. Don't go away.
Survive. My people will survive. Oh, Nigeria will survive. Nigeria will survive. Africa will survive. My people will survive. Oh, Nigeria will survive. Andrew, no check out. Oh.
Say what? I see a new Nigeria. I see a new Nigeria. I see a new Nigeria coming forth from the hand of the Lord. I see a new Nigeria. I see a new Nigeria. I see a new Nigeria coming forth from the hand of.
bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ìkànnì ipa 102.7 fm èmùrè ilé níjọba àbílẹ̀ ọ̀wọ̀ ó lẹ̀ ń gbọ́ ẹ̀yìn ètò àkànṣe fún ayẹyẹ ìgbòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà ó ní à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ láti aago 7 títí di aago 10 àárọ̀ tòní òun ni à ń ṣe a sì ń ṣe ní alálàáfíbọ̀ ni lédè yorùbá àti lédè gẹ̀ẹ́sì kí gbogbo wa kábàá lè jàǹfààní rẹ̀ ni ní báyìí ní kòpẹ́kòpẹ́ a ó darapọ̀ mọ́ honorable Kúnlé Adélóyè tí wọ́n jẹ́ lámèyítọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú àti olóṣèlú ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà wọ́n ó darapọ̀ mọ́ wa bó bá wá di aago 9:30 ọ̀gbẹ́ni Olúwagbénga Jọ̀ǹgbọ́lọ́ táwọn náà jẹ́ adarí àjọ Open Sunshine Initiative àjọ tí ó ń rí sí tí ó sì ń jà fún ìdúróore ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo wọn ò darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láago 9:30 ṣùgbọ́n láago 9 báyìí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Kúnlé Adélóyè òun ni a ó máa bá sọ̀rọ̀ ní kòpẹ́kòpẹ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò òṣèlú orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ibi àbáṣẹ́dé àti bí à ń lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ òun láàmú pẹ̀kẹ́lù mọ́ yìí kúrò ńbẹ̀ ìkànnì yìí ẹ̀yin náà sì lè pè wá wọlé kẹ́ ẹ dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lákòókò yìí fún bíi ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ kíkẹ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ní ṣókí nítorí gbogbo wa lọ́lọ́ ọlọ́run àní sọ̀rọ̀ tán nọ́mbà tí ó sì wọ ilé agbára yìí ó ní 08165524699 òun ló wọ ilé agbára yìí ẹ ṣeun.
I see a new Nigeria. Oh, I see a new Nigeria. Oh, I see a new Nigeria. Oh, coming forth from the hand of. I see a new Nigeria. Jesus, I see a brand new nation.
Yeah, Nigeria, Nigeria. There is sound of crisis everywhere. Every time we move around, scared and frightened. There's no freedom to go to anywhere we like.
látọdún 1960 tá a ti wá gbòmìnira oríṣiríṣi òfin òun láti lò.
kọ́mọ onílẹ̀ má lè yan fanda nílẹ̀ abínibí.
Independence Constitution of 1960.
ǹjẹ́ àwa là ń wepo a ò rékòlò.
èyí tí ó fi.
sùúrù ṣùgbọ́n kò tó wá.
yóò fún wa ní parliamentary system of government.
ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran má.
nínú rẹ̀ a ní prime minister a sì ní governor general.
kọ́mọ aláṣọ máa padà wá òwe kì í sà là ń sọ.
ṣùgbọ́n ọba ìlú èbó òun sì ní olórí orílẹ̀-èdè nígbà náà. ilé ẹjọ́ tó sì ga jù nígbà náà ní British Privy Council. wọ́n bá dájọ́ fún ẹ bí ò tẹ́ ọlọ́run Nàìjíríà. wàá gbé lọ sí British Privy Council. àmọ́ ńgbà tí ó dọdún 1963. la a sọ̀kalẹ̀ inú ọkọ̀ náà tá a láàlọ́mọ̀.
Once neighbor, one
tá a wọ̀ míì.
twice.
ta ni látàkókò yìí lọ.
Oh, why more?
Queen of England kì í ṣe olórí orílẹ̀-èdè wa mọ́.
How can we come together?
àwa ní ceremonial president àti prime minister.
We are meant to live together.
nígbà náà la tún pín orílẹ̀-èdè yìí sọ́nà mẹ́rin.
We are meant to care for one another.
tá a dá igun midwestern region sílẹ̀.
Ṣayé là ń jẹ́ kọ́mọ onílẹ̀ má lè yan fanda ní.
Dennis Osadebe látẹgbẹ́ NCNC sì di olóòtú ìjọba igun ọ̀hún.
ọ̀rẹ́ kòlò ohun àlùmọ́nì wa.
àmọ́ nígbà tí ó fi di ọjọ́ kẹẹ̀ẹ́dógún oṣù kínní ọdún 1966.
kọ́mọ ẹlẹ́ran má.
àwọn ológun dàbọn bolẹ̀ wọ́n gbàjọba o.
à ń wí.
wọ́n láwọn olóṣèlú wọ̀gbẹ́ pẹ̀lágbádá wọn lọ́rùn.
là ń sọ.
ọjọ́ burúkú èṣù gbómímù.
Nàìjíríà.
ẹ̀jẹ̀ sàn ṣòroṣòro. ó tabara alẹ́ ó tabara oko. Haji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa.
God bless
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Ambassador Kunle Adeloye speaking.
ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Thank you for joining us, Honourable Kunle Adeloye.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Thank
Happy
you very
Independence to
much.
every one of us.
Listeners at home, I have told you that we shall be having a guest on this program. That is Ambassador Kunle Adeloye, who is a politician, a frontline member of the ADC in Ondo State. He has just joined us through phone call this morning. You're welcome. Today we are examining Nigeria at 65, the wins and the losses. And Ambassador Kunle Adeloye will be looking at this issue through from the perspective of a politician. In the Nigerian politics, what progress have we made, and what problems have we encountered, and what losses have we incurred?
Thank you so very much for having me. And let me start by first of all greeting Nigerians and congratulating us and wishing us happy 65th independence of our dear fatherland. Yeah, if we need to go a bit memory lane, we discovered that we got our independence from the colonial rule in the year 1960. Prior to this independence, our country was under the colonial masters from Britain. Nigeria independence has afforded a lot of benefits to us as an independent state. Take for instance, we would have a big say on all matters relating to politics through the power of the ballot because we are independent nation. This was never there when we were under the colonial master. Now we have the right to choose the type of leaders that we do desire. And on periodic basis, we can also elect or re-elect or choose to elect a new person. This has given us the power of choice, which was never there when we were under the colonial master. Again, the independence of Nigeria meant that we could decide on our economic, political, and cultural fortunes without recourse to taking permission from the colonial master. Again, another advantage of the independence we have gotten is that it meant that all state positions will be occupied by Nigerians and that the economy will be grown so that an egalitarian society can be created by our own self, not by a dictate of a foreign master. This has given us the latitude to determine our fate by ourselves. Also, the independence has afforded us our cultural practices that will be restored, and that anything foreign that did not respect our way of life will be totally abandoned. We will never be under the dictate of foreign cultures and traditions. We will display our diversity in a public national domain to promoting the blessings, the gift, the talent, the endowment of God for us. Again, the independence of Nigeria meant sovereignty for us. The rule of law and federative state will be so big. So we have so many benefits that we can link to the independence of Nigeria. But the truth of the matter is that we only need to shore up our attitudinal deficiency to get all this done and grow our infrastructure and grow our jurisprudence and grow in terms of policing ourselves and determining how to compete favorably with other independent countries that are developed. Thank you so very much.
Adeloye, let me ask you a question. It is believed that some persons have said, let me say it that way, that the incursion of the military into Nigerian politics took us backward. You know, from 1966 to 1979, we had the military, and from 1983 to 1999, we also had another second spell of military governance. That their incursion into governance took us backward. That most of the challenges that we are facing now, we wouldn't have been there had the military not stepped into the governance of our country. What's your opinion about that, sir?
Well, thank you, my dear brother. The truth of the matter is that the military incursion, though aberrational in nature, was part of the 50 challenges that we have to achieve self-governance. The only difference between the military and the civil rule is that the military took over by force. There was no room to question or query them. They determined everything they did by fiat. But you and I also must realize that those military persons that we are referring to, they were also Nigerians. They were also Nigerians. So both military and civil rule, I think we grew in the same process. We are all Nigerians. We believe in this country. The only difference is that there was no power of choice. Even that since 1999, that we have had this unbroken republic in civil rule. Yet, if you look at the ways and manner some of our chief executives, our leaders are behaving, there is no much total difference, total disengagement from civilian dictatorship. So what we are saying in essence is that, well, let us thank God. We have gotten this independence. I know, of course, that we are never in the same place that we were in 1960. Yes, the speed might not be that the way one would have expected. But of course, we can still say we have made some progress that we really need to build upon. That is what I will say. But if you want to ask me that, are we ripe enough when we had our independence, or that, can I say, that our independence was gained too early? Then my answer will be a different thing. Because at the time we were gaining our independence, there are some other countries that had theirs earlier than our own. They are not that bad. We can talk about the issue of Sudan, who got their independence earlier. We can talk about Burundi, who got there later. So it is hard to argue that any of these two have it better than Nigeria. Similarly, when we talk about South Africa, that got their independence earlier, or Mauritius, we got theirs earlier. It is also hard to argue that they have had it worse. The aim of any state and the society that control the machinery of the state is to address and maybe overcome the structural challenges that they face. Success does not depend on when, but on how if those challenges are overcome. So I don't think the issue of the military should be the excuse for us not to have overcome all these military actions in civil rule that we need to have jettisoned with and face governance and allow our electoral system not to be compromised, that the will of the people will be sacrosanct. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Please, the opposition is an essential ingredient in the democratic fortune of a country. And as a member of the opposition, Nigerians have been complaining that we have not heard much from the opposition, especially under the current administration. What is your party doing? What is your party's position about, while I will not allow you to campaign on our platform, but I want to, what is your party's position about the current government, and what are you doing in order to ensure that Nigerians truly enjoy the dividend of democracy?
Thank you, my dear brother. I will not also seize this platform to campaign, but I will just do justice to the question that you have asked. And I want to say that much as you have asked this question, a lot of people have been criticizing the opposition parties for not doing enough as playing the role of opposition. But let me tell you, my dear brother, if you know exactly what is going on in the body politic, you will know that it takes too much of resources to challenge as appropriate the government of the day. Because even your station here, if we want to sponsor as a political party, to sponsor a period of time on your station regularly, you know the type of bill you are going to give us. So play active opposition in Nigeria is very, very expensive. But that notwithstanding, in as much as we believe, it is our duty to make sure that the government of the day is matched so that they will be able to do the right thing. We will continue to engage the government by telling them their do's and don'ts. And when we talk about opposition, it is not to just criticize, but it is to criticize objectively. Where the government would have performed, we give them thumbs up. Where we felt they have not lived up to expectation, we draw their attention to that. And that is why democracy is seen to be the best form of government, because it gives us the opposite freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, and freedom of information. So that when we notice that what the government is doing is not taking us in the direction of progress, all of us must come together to make sure that we correct the government. And we cannot, of course, leave it to opposition party alone to do. The print media, the electronic media, the social media, all of us must come together to challenge the government of the day to give us good governance. Because it is in having good governance that you and I can fare better. It is in having good governance that when you and I have the privilege to be out of this place and we are discussing with other nationals, we will be able to compete favorably with them. I was privileged to be out of the country sometime in another foreign land. And I was challenged by one of the foreign nationals. He told me something which was so embarrassing. He said, you are a Nigerian. He said, God bless Nigeria with everything, but bad leadership. This points to the fact that even to have a government in place, both the press and all stakeholders, we must participate. We must take our civic responsibility as a matter of utmost importance to vote, to decide who will lead us, so that when we decide, we have to have good governance, because there is this saying in the parliament that it is the people that determine the type of government they want. If we choose and we have the government that we are so choosing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. What is your advice for Nigerians as we approach another season of electoral campaign, lobbying, and elections?
My advice for Nigerians is that we must take democracy serious. Taking it serious is that we should know that we do have another country that we can so properly call our own. The issue of governance should be a matter of concern for every one of us. The type of apathy that we display during election should be discarded. You and I must endeavor to come out and vote conscientiously. Nigerians should stop selling their votes to the highest bidder, because when you sell to the highest bidder, it's like an investment. It's going to take return on its investment. Nigerians must make sacrifice today so that they can have it better tomorrow. The countries that you and I are running to, America, Britain, France, and others, they are not ruled by angels. They are ruled by human beings like us. The only difference between them and us is the color of our skin. We should not see ourselves to be inferior by the reason of the color of our skin. We must take active participation. We must show concern about the way we are governed. We must speak out where it is necessary. We must fall ourselves into groups. We must participate in politics, and we must all create awareness to vote. People do say that when, even as if you vote, the government will rig it. I disagree. If all of us come out in our number, we vote and we stand by our vote. And our vote we can. So as we approach 2027, we should prioritize Nigeria. We should show our patriotism by showing concern, especially with the elites, because experiences have shown that during elections, elites don't vote. It's either we are glued to our television devices or they are reading newspaper. This is not good for democracy. We should lead by example. We should tell them that we are not. If we leave election or electoral system to the thugs, to the miscreants, for the jobless people, they will be bought. But if some of that are enlightened, that they will be able to cancel and take the lead in choosing who leads us. It is when we're able to get to that level that the issue of good governance can be guaranteed. So I appeal that there is no alternative to democracy. Therefore, we must all participate and put Nigeria first. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Kunle Adeloye. Thank you for your time, sir. We are very
Thank you
grateful
so much for having me. It is my pleasure, and I want to appreciate God for your station High Power in Emureile in Owo. I think with all these stations coming up, it is a platform for us to articulate our points and to inform people as appropriate, so that we can get to where we ought to be. God bless you for contributing your quota. And to our people at home, I say once again, happy 65th independence. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much. That was Ambassador Kunle Adeloye, a politician, a leading member of the opposition in Ondo State, articulating, like he said, his points about Nigeria's democracy and since independence. Let me right now, we'll take a short break, and I'll come to Mr. Aki Adebayo, and we will talk about some of the points that Ambassador has highlighted.
To even trust one's neighbor, one have to think twice. Why, oh why must it be like this? How can we come together to mend all these things? We We are meant to live together as one family. We are meant to care for one another. Ṣayé là ń jẹ́, kọ́mọ onílẹ̀ má lè yan fanda nílẹ̀ abínibí. Ṣayé là ń jẹ́, àwa là ń wepo a ò répo lò. Ohun àlùmọ́nì ìwà pọ̀ yanturu ṣùgbọ́n kò tó wá. Kọ́mọ ẹlẹ́ran má padà wá jẹ gúngún là ń wí. Kọ́mọ aláṣọ má padà wá wé kísà là ń sọ. God bless Nigeria. God bless our nation. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. God bless Ondo State. God bless our local government. God bless Emureile. God bless High Power 102.7 FM. And God bless me and God bless you. Mr. Kadebayo, I have always heard from every Nigerian politician, don't buy your vote. But on the day of the election, somebody is buying and somebody is selling. How do we stop this problem? And how do we even address this issue in the first instance?
Thank you very much. Issue of vote buying, I've always been very that way. It will take God's intervention to actually stop it. Now, how do I know? Vote buying are so much eating deep into the system, to the fabric of electioneering in Nigeria, to the extent that even somebody that was to, I don't know. I mean, if you want to set it for a vote, someone that is doing real well, if you want to set it for a vote, but of course, you can't place something on nothing. One thing led to the issue of vote buying, and what is it? It's the weaponization of poverty. Poverty has been so weaponized to the extent that even the rich, the well-to-do, people that have enough, are still ideologically they're impoverished. I mean, how do I know? What do you need from somebody that is embezzling billions of naira? Even because I don't know how to place it. You are still embezzling billions of naira, even at old age. The question is this: what do you want to do with it? So when we are talking about poverty in Nigerian context, it has gone beyond the issue of, weaponization of material poverty. It has trickled into ideological poverty, and it's gone so much terrible when someone is ideologically impoverished. Is a serious issue. It's a serious issue. It is even far worse than someone that is materially impoverished, because by the time you are ideologically impoverished, anything goes. But if you are materially impoverished, which means that your problem, if today you are gainfully employed, or probably you are doing one or two things and you are at least you are able to sustain yourself with that, you may not be. You might now try to develop your own ideology about life. So that is just so. And now, how can we bring a stop to all these things? Like I said, number one, it will take a divine intervention for us to actually stop this issue of vote buying. That is one. Secondly, people just need to sit down. People need to be orientation upon orientation needs to actually go on, making people to understand that, look, this money that you are collecting is just for a while. In fact, I was listening to one of our sister stations, and someone phoned in and said there is no amount of awareness, no amount of orientation can stop him from not collecting money, because that is the only thing he can gain from government at times. That because after they won the election, they no longer remember them. These are the things. So which means that person actually that is lacking when it comes to material gains or what have you, but ideologically is impoverished regarding that. I remember a brother of mine called me and said his mother is giving him headache. I said, what happened? He said his mother wants to vote for a particular person because of 5,000 naira. And I said, maybe you are not taking good care of mama. And I said, how possible is that? As mama happens to be a retired principal, that he sends money to her, his younger one sends money to her. But still, Mama still believes that because someone is collecting 5,000 naira, it's equally our own right to still collect 5,000 naira. A retired principal. So it could be as worse as that. But like I said, how can we bring a stop to, vote buying? It's just by just awakening the consciousness of people to this issue of vote buying. It's just awakening the consciousness of the negativity that is enshrined in selling your vote, making people to understand that, look, your vote is your power. I think that is
your vote is your power. Your vote is your power. Right now, we'll take a short break and we will bring on board Mr. Oluwagbenga Ajongbolo. We'll bring him online right now. Very soon you'll hear his voice. But before that time, let us take this short break.
wá bá mi ṣe tèmi olúwa wá bá mi ṣe tèmi wá bá mi ṣe tèmi olúwa wá bá mi ṣe tèmi ìrànlọ́wọ́ aláwòrán jẹ́ kí nàìjíríà ó dẹ̀rọ̀ wá bá mi ṣe tèmi olúwa. ẹ jẹ́ ká ké pọ̀ lọ́rùn ní nàìjíríà o. ẹ jẹ́ ká ké pọ̀ lọ́rùn ní nàìjíríà o. kò fún wa lóhun tó dùn bí tàtẹ̀yìnwá o. ká ké pélé dùnmọ́ rẹ̀ kó dáríjì wa o bó bá jẹ́jẹ́. ẹ jẹ́ ká ké pọ̀ lọ́rùn ní nàìjíríà. kò fún wa lóhun tó dùn bí tàtẹ̀yìnwá o. kó foríjì wa ò tó bá dẹ́ṣẹ̀. ìjọba ti ṣètò owó ní kọjá máa wọ̀lú o. ṣẹ́yẹ ní mẹ́kúnnù ṣe ń jìyà kiri ẹ jẹ́ abára wa sọ̀rọ̀. gàrí tí wọ́n kò ṣe jẹ fún mẹ́kúnnù mọ́ kí n ló dé. ráìsì ò ṣe jẹ fún mẹ́kúnnù mọ́ kí n ló ṣe. iṣu tí a rí yẹn o kò ṣe rà fún mẹ́kúnnù mọ́ kí n ló dé. ẹja òkú ẹ̀kọ́ kò ṣe jẹ fún mẹ́kúnnù mọ́ kí n ló ṣe. ẹ dákun ẹ bá yí ẹ wò. ohun ìkọ́lé o ìyẹn dìgbò olùkí ló dé. àwọn tí ó nà tẹ́lẹ̀ rí o wọ́n ti do ní kábúkábú. nítorí owó oúnjẹ o pẹ̀lú owó òwe ọmọ wọn. ẹ dákun ẹ bá yí ẹ wò. ọmọ ṣé oyó kò ṣe sọ fún fàmílì mọ́ nílé mọ́ o. ọmọ yunifásitì wọn jáde léèwé wọn ríṣẹ́ ṣe. ibi nàìjà dorí kọ́ o kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀mọ́ o. ta ló lè mọ̀ gbẹ̀yìn ọ̀rọ̀. ẹ̀yin ìjọba o bàbá lókè ara yín ṣe. ẹ dẹ́kun ẹran mẹ́kúnnù lọ́wọ́ o nítorí mẹ́kúnnù jìyà o. làwa ṣì wà o. àìjá làwa ṣì wà o. làwa ṣì wà o. àìjá làwa ṣì wà o. làwa ṣì wà táwa láborí ìdè.
orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjà aláṣíwá nàìjà ìlú wa kò ní burú kò ní bàjẹ́.
nàìjíríà kò ní bíire o. àmọ́ ẹ bá bẹ̀ lágbára. ẹ bá bẹ̀ lágbára kó jẹ́ kó lè kọ́ kó jẹ́ má ló ṣe gbogbo. àní ẹ bá bẹ̀ lágbára. ẹ bá bẹ̀ lágbára kó jẹ́ kó lè kọ́ kó jẹ́ má ló ṣe gbogbo. wọ́n ò gbèlú mi lárugẹ o. wọ́n ò gbèlú mi lárugẹ o. kò síbòmíràn tá a lè sá lọ o. wọ́n ò gbèlú mi lárugẹ.
Good morning, Mr. Ajongbolo.
Andrew lógo ṣẹ́ka o. wọ́n ò gbèlú mi lárugẹ. Andrew lógo ṣẹ́ka o. wọ́n ò gbèlú mi lárugẹ. ṣebí foríjì lọ̀rọ̀ wá gbà o. wọ́n ò gbèlú mi lárugẹ. tábà ní sùúrù wa ò borí olùkó. wọ́n ò gbèlú mi lárugẹ. tábà ní foríjì nàìjíríà dẹ̀rọ̀. wọ́n ò gbèlú mi lárugẹ.
We apologize for that break.
wọ́n gbèlú mi lárugẹ o. wọ́n gbèlú mi lárugẹ o. nàìjíríà kò ní bíire. wọ́n gbèlú mi lárugẹ. bàbá lọ sàtò àǹdarí bọ̀ wá o. wọ́n gbèlú mi lárugẹ. bàbá lọ sàtò àǹdarí bọ̀ wá o. wọ́n gbèlú mi lárugẹ. mo rántí olóore mi lójoojúmọ́ o. ṣúra ṣe láti kó. mo rántí olóore mi lójoojúmọ́ o. ṣúra ṣe láti kó. ó ń ṣe fàlejò ó ń ṣe fónílé o. ṣúra ṣe láti kó. ìgbésí ayé ẹ kò má dògbò. ṣúra ṣe láti kó. Sàràkí Adìní rẹ̀ mọ̀ sí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́kọ́. ṣúra ṣe láti kó. Babalájẹ́ àwòdì ní pátápátá o. ṣúra ṣe láti kó. ọkọ̀ rà ṣídá tó mọ̀ fòyà. ṣúra ṣe láti kó. àwọn kúnlẹ̀ àṣàyè mi dúdú ẹ̀mí o. ṣúra ṣe láti kó. àwọn kúnlẹ̀ àṣàyè mi dúdú ẹ̀mí o. ṣúra ṣe láti kó.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Ajongbolo. Mr. Ajongbolo, can you hear us, please? Can you hear us now, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Good morning, Mr. Oluwagbenga Ajongbolo.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is our special Independence Day package, Nigeria at 65, the wins and the losses. As someone who has been in student and public advocacy, and as someone who has also been into the issues of transparency advocacy, how much do you think that we have grown as a nation as regards transparency in governance?
Okay, yeah, thank you. I think we actually need to set a perspective here so that our listeners at home can understand that there's a big progress that we've made in the past decades. There were times that in Nigeria, uh, any attempt to speak up, to ask questions, and even to engage government at all levels were actually met with stiff resistance, and oftentimes you spend a good number of days or months behind bars, and sometimes too, unfortunately, some people lose their lives. The records are there. We know about the great fella who actually spent a huge number of his adult life or productive time behind bars. We also know about very popular lawyers and activists, Baba Gani Fawemi. So we have actually improved, in asking questions. These days, everybody now asks questions on the pages of newspapers. We have people that actually do the advocacy on social media. Yes, there are issues. There are people that, there are government people that actually go extreme these days, but we now have a very strong system or stronger system that actually curtail or caution them, and more persons now use these avenues, on radio, people talk on TV comfortably, people now do hashtag on social media asking questions. And even when people get arrested, you see protests, not even on the street or even on social media. So I think we've grown, but we can do better. That's just what I can say about that.
You have been involved in a particular advocacy called Follow the Money. Would you please enlighten Nigerians on the need to ask questions about their finances and how they should do it? Because some persons would say the average Nigerian does not even know the road in front of his house, how much has been paid for its construction, and whom to go to ask questions, and how to get the government to do the right thing as regards finances in their community.
Okay, yes, I think one of the things that we do at Follow the Money, I'm actually the regional lead for Follow the Money. It's an international organization that has presence in 9 African countries and 3 North American countries. So what we do, and in 4 European countries. So what we do at Follow the Money is to actually engage the government through a lot of activities and advocacies. And I think the first thing that a typical Nigerian should do, not even an expert in following the money or an expert in tracking government fund, is to actually either as an individual or to form a group and write to the necessary quarters. Let me cite an example. So if you are not really informed, you do not have information on the construction of a primary school in your neighborhood, what you can do as an individual in that community or as a group is to reach out to the office or to the sector or to the ministry in charge of that project. For example, for a school, now a primary school, you will know that the office that is responsible will be SUBEB. Yeah. So SUBEB. So what you do is you write an FOI, what we call an FOI. That's Freedom of Information Bill. Act, a letter now. You send an FOI request to SUBEB office, wherever you are, either you are in Niger State or you are in Lagos or in Abuja or you are in Akure. Just write an FOI request asking questions about the state of that school in your area. You highlight everything you want to know, information. Then you have the right to inform them that they have 7 days to reply your letter. And you also have the right to also make it public that you have sent a letter to SUBEB demanding or asking for information on so school environments. So from there, you start engaging them. If they are civil government agency, they will get back to you and and call you and say, okay, this is the information you want to give it to you. And if they are not responding, there are ways to go about that. Because you have formed a group, or because you also need that system to work, you if they do not respond, what you do is to sue them to court. So you have the right as an individual to sue a government institution to court and ask questions that, okay, they have decided not to respond to your FOI request, then they can, reply you in court. So these are the process. That's why I said these days a lot of things have improved, and Nigerians are now getting answers. Unlike before that, you just do this and then you find yourself behind bars. So follow the money. These are the simple steps that we do. From there, we do online advocacy. We come on radio and we say, okay, we have written a letter to SUBEB. They are not responding, or hopefully they will respond. We come on TV. We talk about these things. Then, in fact, we even write on pages of newspapers, talking about these things. Yeah. So we put on Facebook. We put on Instagram. We put on Twitter. In fact, we do caricature. We do what do I call it now? Cartoons now. We do images. We try to pass those information across to the people, and from there, a lot of persons will start asking more questions, and before you know it, the results will come out. The school will be completed. Teachers, that they need will be employed. The desks and chairs and books that they want will be giving them. The perimeter fencing, the toilet that the school lack will be given to them. So those are just practical examples of how we follow the money, and it has been successful. I can tell you that in Ondo State here, we've actually done a lot of advocacies. We did Rebuild or War. That was about the counterpart funding between Ondo State and federal government on primary school renovations in Ondo State between 2016 and 2018. We've done a lot of work. We've worked on COVID-19 intervention in Ondo State. That's when I said primary school is related to SUBEB, and when we say primary health sector, we should know that it's related to primary health center, primary health board in Nigeria. So we've done a lot of activities and engagement, and I can tell you it has brought up a lot of positive results. So I often encourage people that you don't even need to join an organization, or you don't even need to have an organization before you can engage government institutions to get answers for yourself, for your communities, and for your state and Nigeria at large. Yeah.
Talking about finally, because of our time, we would have loved to have you for at least an hour, but our time is fast spent. But I would like to ask you a question as regards Ondo State and the current government. Do you, as somebody who has been in the transparency advocacy for a while, think, in your opinion, that the current government is transparent enough in the financial dealing, especially now that many people believe, and it's evident that the allocation coming to the state has increased humongously?
Yeah, I will not want to be categorical because we are still trying to, as an organization, we are trying to check our papers, check the details, check figures, cross our T's, dot our I's before we can come out with our public information that we have our quarterly report that we do. So I will not be categorical here, but as an individual, I'm not speaking for my organization now, I think the government of the day has performed woefully, especially in the area of transparency and openness and accountability. Why? Because in Ondo State, there was a time that the World Bank and some other international organizations actually rated us high because of, even though we were not perfect, we were responding well to the
the framework of international transparency organization that is set up, Ondo State actually met them, I meant, some 4 years ago. But recently we have a government that doesn't even care about their image in the first place, and do not even care about the people of the state. And they know, or they have accepted, that what we agree to as a people or as a state is just for them to do jobs in the sense that go and clear that road and start constructing without even proper community engagement or stakeholders engagement. These are the problems. That is why Ondo State is actually having these problems of being very low on the transparency ranking now. And I think Ondo State can do better, because if the governor is not the only person running the state, even though he's a leader, I think he should surround himself with people that actually want the best for the state, that actually understand that when the government leaves, their work, their job, we only tell on the people, whether positive or negatively. So I think the governor has the right or the power to do that for the people of Ondo State. I don't want to be categorical, but the governor of the state or the government of Ondo State has performed woefully, especially in the area of transparency.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oluwagbenga Jongbolo, for your time. We are very happy to have you, and we hope that next time when we invite you, you will answer us.
I'm always with you, Mr. Alaba.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. That was Mr. Oluwagbenga Jongbolo, the founder of Open Sunshine Initiative and the regional director for Follow the Money, an international NGO that is concerned about transparency in governance. And with that, we shall be drawing the curtain on this year's edition of our Independence Day special package, which we have tagged Nigeria Testifies, the wins and the losses. And I must thank everyone who has participated in this program today, starting from Abdulrazak Alawaye to Iniolua Adekoya to Florence Ibarima, to every member of the newsroom, and all our engineers that have been on board to ensure that we have a smooth sail today. And in 30 seconds, Mr. Akin Adebayo, your passing word of encouragement to Nigerians.
Thank you very much. What I would just say is very, very simple. Nigeria marking our 65th independence anniversary. I think it is time now to start doing things right. It is an opportunity. It is another year for us to start doing things right, either as a government or as a citizen. It is very important that we do things right. Doing things right will no doubt reposition us or position us in a better state in the Committee of Nations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akin Adebayo. And I also want to give a word of gratitude to all head of departments in the station, especially the general manager of the station, Engineer Paul Olotu. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Until next time that I will come your way again, I remain Alaba Adeyemi. I leave you with this word of encouragement. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. Be vigilant, be courageous, and our country will be great again. Thank you very much.
The station with the best